Hi everyone. Today we're going to flow through a modified primary Ashtanga series. So feel free to grab any props that you like to use to practice. And when you are ready, we'll actually get started in a child's pose. So come to the mat. You can widen your knees apart, toes together, arms stretched out in front of you, lowering your torso to the ground, letting the forehead, the third eye rest. Just taking a moment here to scan through your body. Notice how you feel today. Perhaps setting an intention for class. And establishing the breath. Noticing your inhales and exhales. Perhaps deepening it. Feeling the fullness of your breath. Take one more big breath here. And at the end of your exhale, push yourself up to tabletop, your hands and knees. We'll move through some cat-cows. So dropping your belly, shining your heart forward, inhaling, exhaling, rounding the spine, curling in. Inhale for cow, exhale for cat. Just continue with your own breath, moving through spinal flexion and extension, warming up the body. Perhaps you'd like to take hip circles, roll out the neck. Just move in whatever intuitive way your body calls to. Once you feel even and balanced, come back to a neutral position. Tuck your toes and lift your knees just an inch off the ground. Hold and hover for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Knees come back to the mat. Lower your chest, chin to the mat. Keep your hands next to your low ribs. You can lift one leg and then the other, creating a long tail behind you. And then inhale, lift your chest, the front part of your torso up. Exhale, lower back down. Again, inhale for low cobra. Exhale, lower back down. One more time. Inhale, low cobra. Exhale, lower. This time, inhale, push your way all the way through tabletop. Tuck your toes, lift your hips, and straighten your knees, coming into downward dog. Feel free to pedal out your feet here, perhaps lifting up onto your toes, dropping the heels from one side to the other. And just remember that as we start to flow through class, moving through sun salutations and vinyasas, that you are always welcome to take any of those initial variations, whether that be cat-cow, cobras, or even child poses. It's all the same flexion and extension of the spine, so you get the same benefit. The end of your next exhale, walk your feet little steps at a time to the top of the mat. And you can grab opposite elbows just for an easy forward bend. Allow a generous bend in the knees. Allow the head to drop, resting the torso on the thighs. Perhaps swaying side to side. And then one vertebrae at a time, start to come into a stand, just ragdolling yourself up, head being last to rise into mountain pose. Hands facing forward. Press into your feet, really strengthening your legs, and start to bring attention to the bandhas. The first being the pelvic floor, a slight lift up. The second being near the navel, almost as if a string is being tied to the spine behind it. As it draws in, lengthening up through the spine and out the crown of the head, a small tuck of the chin for the third bandha. We keep these energy locks throughout class. Let's move through a sun salutation A. Inhale, arms up to the sky, look up. Exhale, fold forward, hands plant. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands plant, walk back to chaturanga, low plank. Inhale for upward dog or cobra. Exhale, downward dog. We'll be here for 3 to 5 breaths. The heels may or may not touch, but energetically working their way towards the mat. Hips lift high to the sky. Pressing into the hands, but allowing the shoulders to relax away from the ears. Keeping the breath long and smooth. End of your exhale, walk, step, jump to the front of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise, hands lift to the sky, look up. Exhale, hands through heart center, Samastitihi, or mountain. One more, sun A. Inhale, arms lift, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands plant, walk, step back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Again, we'll be here for about 5 breaths. Establishing Ujjayi breathing by creating a slight constriction in the back of the throat. It can sound like an ocean wave in and out through the nose. End of your exhale, make your way to the front of the mat. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise, arms to the sky, look up. Exhale, hands through heart center, Samastitihi. We'll move through sun B. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Inhale for chair. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your palms, lower to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Rotate your left foot in, step forward with your right foot. Inhale for warrior one. Exhale, lower right back down, hands plant down to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Right foot turns in, left foot steps forward. Inhale to warrior one. Exhale, hands plant, lower to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. We'll stay here for about 3 to 5 breaths. As we warm up the body, you may start to notice it gets a little bit more limber. The prana starts to flow a little bit more easily. End of your last exhale, walk your feet forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, drop your hips. Inhale to chair. Exhale, Samasthiti. Widen your feet apart. Inhale, tall. Exhale, fold forward, grab your big toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Feel free to grab your shins or ankles here, or even generously bend into the knees. We'll be here for a few breaths. Crown of the head, reaching towards the floor. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, rise all the way back to stand. Samasthiti. This time, take your left foot, step it back behind you, straightening your right knee. Inhale, tall. Exhale, fold forward. Right hand to shin, ankle, or big toe. Left hand reaches up towards the sky, allowing the twist to really come from the upper chest. Draw the right hip back, left hip forward, almost as if you're flattening out the lumbar spine. Eyes either to the hand above or below you. End of your exhale. Inhale your way up through star. Rotate your feet to the other side. And then exhale, fold forward. This time, left hand grabs onto left shin, ankle, or big toe. Right hand reaches up to the sky, twisting through the upper body. Drawing the left hip back, right hip forward. Breathing here. Allowing the breath to move through class. End of your exhale, rise up through star. Rotate your feet to the front of the mat. Again, this time fold forward. Left hand grabs shin or plant on the outside or inside of the foot. Right hand reaches for a revolved triangle. Stay for the end of your exhale. Inhale, rise up through star. Rotate your feet to the back of the mat. Fold forward. This time, right hand plants on the inside or outside of your foot. Left hand reaches to the sky for a revolved triangle other side. Allowing your feet to really ground you here. It's drawing the mat together. Inhale, rise through star. Feet come together at the front of the mat. Samasthiti. This time, take a bigger step back with your right foot. Bend into the left knee. Left elbow comes to left knee. Right arm reaches up overhead for extended side angle. Long line of energy through the right side of the body. Trying not to collapse or dump too much into the left elbow, but really allowing the abdomen, the obliques to lift you. Stay for the exhale. And inhale, straighten that leg, rise through star. Rotate your feet to the back of the mat, bending into the right knee. This time, right elbow to right knee, left arm sweeps up and over. Long line of energy through the left side body for extended side angle. Allowing the legs to be strong here. Stay for the end of your exhale. Inhale, rise through star. Rotate your feet to the front of the mat. Bend into the left knee. Hands come to prayer position in front of you. This time, right elbow can hook to the outside of the left knee. Revolved prayer twist. Inhale, rise up through star. Feet rotate to the back of the mat, bending into the right knee. Hands come to prayer in front of you. Then left elbow hooks to the outside of the right knee. Revolved prayer twist. Allowing the breath to be full and deep, even in these twists. Letting it massage the body. Inhale, rise up through star. This time, feet come together at the front of the mat. Samasthiti. Take your right foot, step it back, kind of in the middle between the first two. Just a medium step. Inhale, crown of the head reaches up to the sky. Think tall. Exhale, fold forward. Hands come to the mat in front of you. Dropping your head, allowing the crown to melt towards the floor. This gentle inversion where our head is beneath the heart, you may start to notice things slow down a little bit. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands come to waist. Inhale, rise all the way back to stand. We'll do one more variation of a wide-legged forward fold. Hands can either stay at the waist, or perhaps you'd like to clasp the hands behind your back. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. The Ashtanga sequence is more than just a series of postures. It is also this whole system, including the yamas, niyamas, asanas, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Inhale, rise. Big breath here. Exhale, let it go. Inhale, feet back to the front of the mat. Samasthiti. This time, shift your weight over to the left foot. Bend the right knee up into the chest, perhaps grabbing onto the front of the knee with your hands. We'll balance here. Maintaining your breath and your focus. Each of those limbs of Ashtanga act as branches of a tree, spokes of a wheel. They all work together in an integrative system. Place your left hand on your left hip. Allow your right leg to open up to the side. Perhaps gaze goes over the left shoulder. The first part of that system are the yamas, or our external discipline. It's the way that we relate to the world around us. Knee comes back through center. Right hand to right waist. Kick that foot forward. Let it hover above the ground for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax that foot back down. Take a moment. Notice the right and the left sides. Then shift your weight over to the right foot, grounding firmly there, allowing your left knee to come up to left chest, holding on to the front of the knee with your hands. Finding your balance, your drishti, your point of focus. There are 5 yamas listed, though perhaps they are all best encapsulated by the first one. Ahimsa, sometimes translated as nonviolence, do no harm, or perhaps in a positive translation, compassion and loving kindness. Right hand to right hip, open up the left leg out to the side, gaze over the right shoulder. So inviting in that sense of compassion and loving kindness for yourself in these balanced postures. It is okay to fall, to wiggle. We just come back to where we are. Leg comes back through center, both hands to the hips. Kick the leg out in front of you, allow it to hover for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax that foot back. Taking a moment to notice the right and left sides. We'll move through a vinyasa. Inhale, arms up to the sky, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your palms, lower to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Walk your feet forward, bend your knees, lower your hips. Inhale your arms up to chair, and we'll hold here for a few breaths. Feeling your strength, your power. This is sometimes translated as fierce pose. One more full breath here. End of your exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, plant your palms, lower to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Rotate your left foot in, big step with the right foot. Keeping that knee bent, rise to warrior one. We'll stay here for a few breaths, bending deeply into that right knee, knee stacked over ankle. The second limb or spoke are the niyamas, or our internal discipline. This is how we relate to ourselves. In one fluid movement, rotate your feet to the back of the mat, bending deeply into the left knee, warrior one on the other side. The niyamas, I like to think of these as our acceptance and commitment, where we meet ourselves with a sense of a pure or clean container. We accept where we are in that moment, and we create a little bit of fire or heat. This is our ability to change, to enact change. The end of your exhale, rotate your arms out to the side, to the horizon, to warrior two. That heat or tapas is the discipline that we carry with us with the consistent practice over time. Again, in one fluid movement, rotate your feet back to the front of the mat, bending into the right knee, warrior two, other side. This acceptance and commitment, this self-study of ourselves allows us to reach our highest self, our greatest potential. End of your exhale, rotate cartwheel your hands to the mat, plant, lower to chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. From here, walk your feet forward, but you're going to come into a crouching position. Move your hands behind you, lower onto your seat, extending your feet out in front of you for Dandasana or staff pose. Taking a moment to allow your body to settle onto the floor as we move into our seated series. Reach your hands towards your feet, whether they land on your shins, ankles, or perhaps big toes or side of your feet. Inhale, lift and lengthen first. Exhale, fold a little deeper. This brings us to our third limb or spoke, which is asana. These are the actual postures or poses that we're making our way through now. It is just an eighth of the practice of Ashtanga. One more breath here. Release. Hands plant behind you. Feet come to the mat, bending into your knees. Inhale, lift your hips for a reverse tabletop. Protect the neck here. You can either continue to look forward, or if it's comfortable and in your practice, it can drop behind you. Perhaps you even walk the feet forward, straighten the knees. Lower back down. Here you can cross your ankles, roll over your shins, coming into hands and knees, move through a vinyasa, perhaps even a cat-cow. We'll all meet back in downward dog. From here, walk your feet forward, come back into that crouch position. Hands move behind you as you come into a seat. Reset in Dandasana, staff pose, and take your right foot, press it into the inside of your left thigh for seated tree or Janu Sirsasana A. Inhale, lengthen through the spine first, then exhale, fold forward. The fourth limb is pranayama. Pranayama is our breath practice. In Ashtanga, this is Ujjayi breathing. Release. Cross your ankles, plant your palms, lift your bottom off the floor. Exhale, lower back down. This time, left foot comes onto the inside of the right thigh. Right leg extends out in front of you. Inhale, tall first. Exhale, fold forward for Janu Sirsasana A on the other side. So the breath becomes just as important as the other limbs. The practice of yoga is just as much a breath practice as it is a body posture practice. So allow the breath to move and flow through class. Release. Plant your palms, press in, lift, lower. This time, roll over your shins. We'll come back into the tabletop, move through a vinyasa or cat-cow. Meeting back in downward dog. Walk your feet forward into that crouch. Move your hands behind you, lower to the floor. This time, extend the left foot long, bend into the right knee, planting the right foot onto the mat. You can hug that knee up into the chest for stage one. Perhaps you'd like to start to fold forward, hands reaching in front of the right shin for stage two. Or right arm reaches around the right leg, left hand behind the back for a bind, clasping the hands together for stage three. Marichyasana A. Breathing here. Release. Plant your palms, cross your ankles, lift, lower. Do the same thing other side. This time right leg extends out in front of you. Left foot plants, hugging the left knee into the left chest for stage 1. Reaching forward for stage 2, or even going for the bind for stage 3. But wherever you land, allowing the breath to remain easy and full. After all, asana means a comfortable seat. So allow each of these postures to be comfortable enough for the breath to be easy. Release. Plant your palms, cross your ankles, lift, lower. This time, right foot comes out in front of you. Left leg crosses over the right foot, right leg, and then bend the left knee. You'll twist over to the left side, hugging the left leg with your right arm, gaze over left shoulder to a variation of Marichyasana D, coming into a twist. The fifth limb is Pratyahara, which is sense withdraw. As we come into that place of internal observation. Release. Plant your palms, cross your ankles, lift, lower. We'll do the same thing other side. So left leg extends long in front of you. This time right foot comes over to the left side of the body. Bend the left knee so that foot is close to the right hip. We're twisting over to the right, so hugging the right leg with the left arm, gaze over right shoulder. Even if the asanas can sometimes feel complicated, we withdraw our senses in to that meditative practice. There are 5 senses: sight, smell, taste, sound, and touch. Release. Unwind, hands plant across your ankles, lift, lower. We'll move through a vinyasa, so roll over your shins. Move through your flow, meeting in downward dog. Once again, walk your feet forward, come into a crouch, move your hands behind you, lowering into a seat. And we'll move straight into Navasana or boat pose, allowing your feet to hover off the ground, extending your knees, arms out to your side, feeling the strength of your core. It's okay to smile in this pose. Release, cross your ankles, plant your palms, lift, lower. Navasana, again, we'll do this 3 times. Allowing the breath to smooth any wiggles or shakes that you may have. Release, Plant your palms, cross your ankles, lift, lower, Navasana. One more time, last time. Release, plant your palms, cross your ankles, lift, lower. We'll move through a vinyasa, so rolling over your shins. And the chaturanga, upward dog, and downward dog. Of course, you always have the option for cat-cow. Walk your feet forward into a crouch, but this time we'll widen our knees apart, planting our palms on the ground so that our knees kind of come up into the outside of our triceps, upper arms. And kind of in this position, a lower position, you can start to shift the weight forward into your hands. Perhaps you stay here, or perhaps the feet start to lift up off the mat to crow. And it just comes right back down. You have the option to do that one more time. Or perhaps you'd like to stay more grounded and come into a goddess squat. Just taking a moment to play here. Wherever you are, we'll all meet back into goddess. Move your hands behind you to come into a seat. We'll widen our legs apart for a seated, wide-legged fold, walking our hands in between our legs in front of us. We'll breathe here for a few moments. The fifth limb is pratyahara, sixth limb is dharana, or concentration. In Ashtanga, this is often our drishti, where our point of focus is. But it's also the asana that we're on in the series. We move forward through practice. Release, come back up. This time you can grab the inside of your knees, feet come together. We'll do Baddha Konasana or butterfly pose. You can hug the feet in as knees come apart. Your elbows can press into the inside of your thighs. Create a little bit more stretch. Inhale, lengthen first, and then you can fold forward. Dharana, or this concentration, allows us to focus, to have that sense of one pointedness, of clarity and of direction. This is our intention. Release and straighten the legs out in front of you. And we're going to roll back onto our back. Grab your big toes. Come into a happy baby. Perhaps you like to kick one leg and then the other. Maybe even both. Eventually, feet find their way to the mat, knees to the sky. We'll be setting up for bridge, arms down by the side. You always have the option to place a block underneath your hips for a restorative bridge. You'd like a little bit more activation. Inhale, lift your hips up towards the sky, pressing into your feet. Allow the hips to hover off the ground. Feeling the strength of the back body as it lifts you here. And exhale, lower back down. We'll do this for 3 rounds, so 2 more. You can inhale, lift your hips to the sky. If you like a little bit deeper variation, perhaps hands clasp behind your back, walking the shoulders underneath you. Thinking about adduction of your inner thighs, bringing the thighs closer together. Exhale, lower back down. Either repeating one of their variations, or if you'd like to come into full wheel, plant your hands beside your ears. Inhale, lift your hips first, and then exhale, press into your hands. Wherever you are, breathing. Exhale, lower back down. Slowly and gently. As you like to rock your knees from side to side, just kind of windshield wipering out your back. Once you feel even and balanced, place your hands underneath your hips and lift your feet up to the sky, or legs up the wall or waterfall. Just reversing the flow of energy. Either staying here or perhaps coming into shoulder stand, lifting your hips off the mat, supporting your low back with your hands, creating a prop with your elbows, really making sure there's no pressure on the neck. And stay where you are, perhaps move through halasana or plow, eventually lowering the legs back to the mat, feet together, knees apart for butterfly or Baddha Konasana legs. Hands can reach up above your head, creating a sense of openness of the front body. Staying here for a breath or two. And then hug your knees in tight, coming into a ball. We'll rock and roll our up and back on our spine, just massaging out our back body, eventually coming all the way back into a seated position. We'll come into an easy seat or lotus. You can cross the arms behind your back. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to fold. These final poses of practice, Ashtanga, gives us a chance to meditate, to fully withdraw within, and to integrate our practice. It's said that the last 3 limbs of Ashtanga, Dharana, Dhyana, and Samadhi, are experienced more than explained. As that concentration leads into meditation, and that meditation leads into integration. Release. Inhale, coming into a seat. Hands can find their way onto the lap, perhaps Gyan Mudra. Coming into a tall seat, sitting with dignity. Meditating here. You are welcome to stay here, or perhaps you'd like to make your way back to Shavasana, taking up space on your mat, laying on your back, perhaps lifting one leg and then the other, walking the shoulders underneath you, hands towards the ground or up to receive. Again, taking a moment just to scan through the body, noticing perhaps what has changed since the start of class. Allowing the breath to become easy here. Giving yourself a moment to integrate practice. Know that you can pause here and come back anytime you need. Otherwise, the next time you hear my voice, will be leading us to the end, to the close of class. Slowly, ever so gently, draw your attention back to the space around you. In your mind's eye, see your body laying, resting on the floor. Start to invite in small movements, wiggling the toes, the fingers, rubbing the tongue to the roof of the mouth. Eventually circling out wrists and ankles, elbows and knees, either drawing yourself into a ball or even stretching out long. Eventually rolling over to your favorite side, to a fetal position, taking a full round of breath here. Taking all the time that you need, press yourself into a seated position, hands either resting on your lap, perhaps at heart center, eyes closed, or a gentle gaze in front of you. Just taking a moment to bring gratitude to yourself for showing up for practice today. And until next we meet, the light and love in me honors the light and love in you. Namaste.